Well, tragedy has the ability to shape each person in a unique way. For Scotty McGee, tragedy brought with it an intense focus to accomplish his goals on the football field. Game On's Mike O'Neill brings us the story of Scotty McGee.
It's a foot race. McGee at midfield, down to the 40. McGee cuts back inside the 30, down to the 20. Another great block. 10, 5, touchdown, James Madison University, Scotty McGee.
My father had put the football in my crib when I was 6 months old and said, he's gonna be my football player. That was exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted the pigskin all the time. If you saw Scotty with a football. My junior year in high school was probably one of my better years. During that season, I trained hard. I got bigger, stronger, faster, and just doing great. Leading the area and rushing, doing all these great things on the football field, and then tragedy strikes. November 3rd, 2003, I was a junior in high school. Got a phone call. It was my sister, and she had told me that my brother had been shot. I was devastated, but at the same time, I tried to act like it didn't happen. I went back to school, I think the following day. Let's just press on, let's just move forward, let's just act like nothing happened, and maybe it won't hurt as much. I wasn't able to manage my grief well until I started making t-shirts, and I would make these t-shirts with, and it would be R.I.P. Mo. And my brother's name was Marcus, but his nickname was Mo, so I would design a bunch of different t-shirts, and those t-shirts that was like my way of coping with his loss. That was like my outlet, and I would make one for every game, and I would wear it under my jersey. Time and time again, I've replayed things to my mind. What if he would have came and picked me up? What if I would have been there? There's no way that I would have just let someone just shoot him that many times. But, you know, I had to get to a place where I couldn't go off of what ifs. I just had to move forward and know that he was in a better place and be thankful that 3 weeks before he passed away, he received salvation.
When the killer was found, Scotty's grief turned to anger.
I'm at the trial, and I'm literally 4 feet away from the person who taken my brother's life. I was enraged, I was angry, I was sad. I would get closer and closer to him, and all I could think running through my mind was, he's right here. All I have to do is just hop over this rail. And who's gonna stop me? What's gonna stop me? One of the things that the attorney had said was, I guess they could kind of sense or see what was going on, and they said, you're a representation of your brother now. And so whatever you do is a reflection of him. It put things into perspective for me that, no, I want to represent my brother in the right light. And I had the support of my teammates, which was just awesome. The first day of the trial, it opened up, and I got all these guys that are coming out just to support me, just to be there. I mean, for me, that was just a very, very special thing to just know that I had guys that care that much. I never thought about taking a break from football. When I step on this field, nothing else matters, and it was a pastime that I knew brought my brother joy. Things got a little rough because I started to envision the scenario playing out, and I would envision my brother being in the end zone, and this guy standing over him with a gun, and I said, I need to score because I have to get to this person before they hurt my brother, and I'd go score. It created this relentless drive. This is one of the ways that I will not allow his death to be in vain, was to go out here and be the best football player that I can be and make him proud and earn a scholarship and continue my pursuit to dream of one day playing in the NFL. There were times where, you know, I didn't have football practice. I would run to a friend of mine's house, Danya.
His older brother was like a good friend of mine, so that's how I got to know him as the little brother, because he was always around. I would hear the doorbell ring, and then, you know, I would see him profusely sweating at my door, you know, distraught, and
I'd just get there and say, you know, she could tell I had been crying, and you all right?
Did you just run all the way here? And, you know, then he would say, you know, just nod his head like, yeah, not really speaking because he didn't want to cry.
Here I was just running just to, you know, and running, I guess running away from the hurt, running away from the pain, running away from my empty room that I shared with my brother, knowing that he's not coming back.
You know, I realized, okay, that's his way of getting it out. You know, he doesn't want to cry, he wants to hide everything, but if he can come over here and let it out and feel comfortable to have that release, then that's fine. And I would say, okay, I'm getting ready to cook dinner, you know, here's your plate. It allowed us to cope together because he would share things that I didn't know, and I would share things that he didn't know. And we were able to, I think, get over it together and just be able to move on and live life like he would like us to do.
As Scotty's emotional healing progressed, his football career continued to grow.
I ended up earning a scholarship to James Madison University. One of the first things the coaches said was, I want to let you guys know something right away. None of you guys are good enough to play in the NFL, so get it out of your mind. I looked around the room. I said, no, not talking to me. I didn't come this far to give up now. I'm just going to work harder than ever before. You could catch Scotty out, but I wasn't out partying. I would be out running. And I had this mentality, and it was everybody wants to be the best, but everybody doesn't do what it takes to be the best. And for me, no one else is watching. What are you doing to get better? You know, my freshman year in college, I ended up receiving salvation, and one of the first things the Lord revealed to me was, you have the talent and abilities to play at the next level, but they're insufficient without me. And so for God to give me that little nugget and say, hey, yeah, you can go, you can make it, but you're gonna need me to get there.
On the way there, Scotty would have to pass through yet another tragedy. It lurks just around the corner.
And thanks to Mike O'Neill for that story. You know, really impressive how Scotty was able to use such a big tragedy in his life to fuel his passion and his drive for football, and not allowing his brother's death to be in vain.
Yeah, you know, he says right there, he envisions his brother in the end zone about to be murdered, and he used that to say, hey, I've got to score a touchdown, along with what you're saying, so it wasn't in vain. Just powerful and impressive.
Definitely. And we'll have part 2 coming tomorrow, so look forward to that.